Hello and welcome to weather. First of all, we're looking at Hurricane Tammy, which is moving closer to the Leeward Islands tonight. We're likely to see some heavy rainfall and flooding spreading over much of the Lesser Antilles as we go through the next 24 to 48 hours there. Meanwhile, there's a hurricane warning also in effect for Guadeloupe, Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, St. Martin and St. Bartholomew, as well as Dominica. Now, Hurricane Tammy becomes the latest calendar year hurricane to form in the tropical Atlantic east of the islands since forecasters began using satellites in 1966. The satellite imagery at 5 p.m. shows the center of Tammy just about 130 kilometers north of Barbados and 200 kilometers east of Martinique. Tammy will turn towards the northwest, moving over the Leeward Islands tonight and then through Saturday night as well. And then we curve northward, leaving the northern Leeward Islands on Sunday. Now, within the eye wall, which you can see here in the orange colors, we have maximum sustained winds of 120 kilometers per hour, but the tropical storm force winds extend out to 200 kilometers. But while moving over some very warm waters, we could be seeing Tammy remaining as a hurricane as we go through the next few days. Now, looking towards the seas, we have been seeing quite a bit of those rainfall as well, especially offshore of Barbados. Some feeder bands are expected across Barbados as we go through the next 48 hours, especially tonight. And then that rainfall will spread all the way across towards Dominica as well as Martinique. We could be seeing some heavy rainfall totals there. Meanwhile, the swells are from Tammy, just about 3.5 meters at its center. Those will spread across Barbados and then eventually up towards northern Leeward Islands as well. Now, tonight we have been seeing temperatures dropping quite a bit. Currently just looking at about 30 degrees Celsius across the parts of Arima. And tonight looking at a low of 27 degrees Celsius in Tobago. But there will be some thunderstorms in spots. We are looking for the moisture from Tammy to begin pushing across Tobago and possibly into Trinidad as we go through the early part of Saturday. So tonight's low in the Trinidad, 25 degrees Celsius. And then we get towards tomorrow, we are expecting again some light spells of rain, some of those showers turning heavy or thundery. There's a high chance of that happening, possibly around 70% as we go through Saturday afternoon, especially during the heat of the day. So looking towards Sunday then, looking still for that moisture to bring some cloudiness, some light spells of rain, but there will be some recovery. More settled conditions are expected across both islands through Monday, and that will extend into Tuesday early next week. Now, for mariners, you should be exercising caution. We still have those swells coming from Tammy affecting parts of offshore Trinidad as well as Tobago. Seas will be moderate to occasionally rough up to 2.5 meters here. And if you are heading towards the coastline, be mindful about that. There will be high tides at 9:12 a.m. as well as 8:30 p.m. And in some of those high tides, that's where you could be seeing some of those larger breaking waves, especially across the north coast of Tobago. So as we go then, definitely looking at Tammy, it's no threat to Trinidad and Tobago, but as we go through this weekend, we can still see some thundery downpours causing gusty winds and street or flash flooding. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.